Eduardo, Nathan, and Alan stood deep within the nether of the Eduardo realms, surrounded by rivers of lava and echoing silence, believing the overworld was finally safe. As ash drifted through the air, a distorted but familiar voice suddenly rang through the realms, shouting that they were gone and ordering everything to be stolen and destroyed, with explosions promised for good measure, instantly breaking the calm and triggering alarm in all three warriors. The voice froze them in place because they all recognized it at once, a threat they thought had ended long ago. Without hesitation, Eduardo opened a portal while Nathan and Alan prepared their weapons, knowing the overworld was in danger. The voice kept echoing, growing louder and more confident, making it clear whoever spoke believed victory was guaranteed and resistance would be meaningless once their plan fully unfolded. They rushed through the portal and emerged into chaos, seeing fires, broken ground, and fleeing civilians everywhere. At the center of it all stood Juan Palafox, alive and smirking, having returned stronger than before. Behind him waited a massive army, disciplined and ready, proving this invasion was no bluff. Juan raised his hand and ordered the attack to begin, declaring the realms would finally fall that day. The army revealed its members one by one. Ulysses Roman, Isaiah Quintana, Salvador Silva, Miguel Ramirez, Adan Soto, William Melchor, Damian Diaz, Dithan Magdaleno, Christian Calderon, and Angel Curiel. Each carried power and confidence, spreading out across the battlefield. Eduardo, Nathan, and Alan exchanged looks, realizing they would need to split up and fight alone if they wanted any chance of stopping total destruction. Eduardo charged first, facing three warriors at once in a brutal clash of strength and strategy. He used the terrain to his advantage, dodging attacks and striking with precision, refusing to back down. Every hit tested his endurance, but his resolve held firm. After a long struggle, Eduardo stood victorious, proving his mastery and forcing his opponents to retreat, stunned by his refusal to fall. Elsewhere, Nathan was surrounded by his own three opponents, who attacked from all sides with speed and coordination. Nathan stayed calm, analyzing their patterns and waiting for mistakes. He countered with perfectly timed moves, turning their teamwork against them. One by one, they fell, exhausted and defeated, leaving Nathan standing alone, breathing heavily but unbroken, knowing the fight was far from over. Alan's battle was no easier, as his three enemies pressed him relentlessly, trying to overwhelm him with raw power. Drawing on experience and sheer will, Alan adapted, pushing past pain and fatigue. He landed decisive blows that shifted the fight in his favor, finally knocking down the last opponent. Victorious but drained, Alan looked toward the center of the battlefield where the final enemy waited. With the army defeated, Eduardo, Nathan, and Alan regrouped, facing Juan Palafox together at last. Juan laughed, unfazed by the loss of his forces, and unleashed his full power. The ground shook as the battle began, each strike echoing across the realms. This fight was harder than any before, pushing all three heroes to their limits, as Juan refused to surrender or show weakness. Juan fought with rage and cunning, exploiting every opening he could find. Eduardo blocked a devastating attack, Nathan countered with speed, and Alan supported them with precise strikes. Still, Juan kept rising, fueled by anger and pride. The fight dragged on, testing their teamwork and trust, until they realized only complete unity would be enough to finally end his reign of chaos. Combining their strengths, they launched a final coordinated assault, striking Juan from every direction at once. Overwhelmed and exhausted, Juan finally fell to his knees, defeated at last. Eduardo opened a sealed gateway while Nathan and Alan restrained him. With one final glare and a promise of revenge, Juan was cast into the prison of the realms, locked away beyond escape. Silence returned to the overworld as the destruction faded and the fires died out. The people slowly emerged, realizing the battle was over. Eduardo, Nathan, and Alan stood together, battered but victorious, watching the sun rise over a world they had saved once again. The weight of the conflict finally lifted, replaced by relief, pride, and the knowledge that their bond had grown stronger. News of the victory spread quickly, and soon preparations for a celebration began. Rebuilding started immediately, with everyone contributing what they could. The heroes helped where needed, refusing special treatment, knowing they fought for everyone. Laughter replaced fear, and music echoed through the streets, marking the end of war and the beginning of healing across the realms. That night, a massive celebration filled the overworld with light and joy. Food was shared, stories were told, and gratitude flowed freely. Eduardo, Nathan, and Alan were honored, but they focused on the people around them, smiling at how peace had returned. The memories of battle still lingered, yet they were overshadowed by unity and hope for the future. Somewhere deep inside the prison in the realm lays Juan Palafox and his army determined for vengeance, with Juan saying, "I will be back with the one, the only,